a chat with you about what is qi, or what is energy, and also having a chat to you about the Yin Yang theory and the philosophy that underpins it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got any questions that you would like to ask us, we've got Jack in the corner who's like looking at your comments. So he will be able to tell us what you're saying, and if you've got anything you want to ask us, we'll try, in the knowledge that we have, to answer what we can, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Okay.
So our first topic we're going to chat about is what is qi, or what's our understanding of qi energy. So in Chinese understanding or Chinese philosophy, qi is a kind of a life force energy that animates life and life and growth. It kind of flows through everything, through all living things, and it's present in everything. So we can kind of understand it in Western thought to help us kind of get a clearer understanding. In science, energy can be studied in various different forms. Produces electricity or energy, but we can study it through thermal, we can study it through electrical, magnetic, chemical, potential, but the outcome is the same: produce energy. So qi in Chinese philosophy is the same, or the Chinese thought is the same, in that the energy that is produced is qi, but the way in which it's produced can come in lots of different forms. So it can come through heat, so we say heat qi, or thermal, in Western we say thermal energy. It can come in through the body, so we have upright qi, or the body, the energy of our body. We have food qi, we have air qi. So all this qi can come, this energy can come in lots of different forms. And if we can understand a little bit about it and how we relate to it, then it will help us to strengthen our body, to balance our body, and to create this healthy energy, healthy qi within ourselves. So also in Chinese thought, we have these different energies in the world around us. So we have heavenly qi, or you could say in Western thought, the qi of the universe. So where the planets are, the atmosphere, how they're formed. Chinese thought, heavenly qi. And then you have the energy of your environment. So energy of the earth, so the nature, and how that interrelates and interacts around you. So that would be earthly qi, or nature. And then you have the qi of your body. So, and this is where Chinese medicine comes into it, and the different energies that run through your body, and how you can understand that and create clean energy, unpolluted and flowing energy through your body. So with these three principles in mind, so you have qi of the heavens, qi of the environment, of earth, and then qi of your body. So if we can understand how we relate to that and see that actually everything is connected, then we can make our energy stronger, more vibrant, and help to clear blocks, and help create like a healthy energy through your body.
Yeah. So as when you look at yourself, is obviously that's most of the time that you subjectively can experience. You look at yourself, it's like you feel your own energy. So I mean, it's quite easy to see. Are you up to do task? Do you have energy to kind of tackle your day, your task, whatever you want to do, or do you feel tired, or do you feel like not motivated, or so? Then you can obviously refer this back to that. Do you have enough qi, or do you have not enough qi, or do you need to do something to be more productive or get more out of your day?
And so obviously the energy in your body is affected by your environment.
Yeah.
Obviously the environment that you're in, if you're in an unpolluted environment, that's going to affect your body, because everything around you affects what you're made up of. So for example, the food that you eat, if you eat clean food, I mean as in kind of organic food and good energetic food, that's going to affect your body, it's going to affect your mind, it's going to affect your emotions, and that's going to all have an interplay within you and how the whole balance of your body works and functions. So you can use the philosophy to help you to balance your life. So
and to build also to build kind of a healthy lifestyle. It's also it's like your social relationships, your activities you do, what you eat, how much you rest as well. It's like how what activities you do, how you breathe, how you move around. And there's, as Martine said, because Qi is moving as well, it's like energy goes from one into the other form.
That's right, and it's really important. Like for example, when you eat certain food, from Chinese medicine point of view, when you eat food, a good quality food, and that combines with air, good quality air, this produces like a chemical reaction in your body and creates what they call like a defensive qi, or a little bit like it's called a wei qi, protects your body. So at the moment, obviously, we're in very difficult times with the virus, and we're thinking of ways in which we can help to protect ourselves and maybe protect our body. So if we look at that thought, and we look about how defensive qi is made in the body, then we can protect ourselves a lot easier. So the food qi, called gu qi, and the air in which you breathe in your body combines together and creates this protective layer, protective from pathogens that come inside your body. So practices like Qigong, where you're breathing really deeply in, expanding your lungs, and you're eating good quality, balanced, healthy diet, together that's going to create stronger immunity, and that's going to build this defensive qi in your body. And the Qigong as well is the breathing exercises and meditation. All of these practices are really great to help to boost your energy, help to boost your internal energy.
So in terms of food as well, is because food goes through a cycle. Our lives go through a cycle through the seasons. It's very good if you eat organic, fresh food. Also, obviously, different seasons call for different foods for your body, because your body changes in summer, winter. Is different. It needs different fuels in different times.
Different seasons.
So in winter, when it's cold, then you want to have a bit more warm and eat more soups and like slower prepared food. Whereas then in summer you go more for the fresh fruit and vegetables, and you have a bit more of a choice during the summer months than the winter months. So you also whatever grows, obviously you can harvest in the summer and autumn, and you have a bit more plenty of it. Then you need to store it for the other months where it's not growing. And there's a lot of information out there as well, and a lot of research been done to how food can help you, and how food can, if you also have certain conditions, can balance the fact out where you're lacking. So I mean, I quite like, also I'm quite like a supporter of eat seasonally. Or like you eat the food that's in season, or you basically, if you have a garden, you can grow it yourself, and harvest what you get. So, I mean, this month, if you want to have specifics, so this month is really good for cauliflower. I like cauliflower. So, or it's also next month you can it's asparagus season soon. So you will see a lot of people will harvest asparagus and or rhubarb, and you also want to get like vitamin B, and you like leafy greens and things
I
like
think
this.
it's quite interesting what Janine's saying as well, because this is leading to our next topic about the yin yang, and this is another theory in Chinese thought and philosophy and in Chinese medicine as well, and this is that as you can see in nature, that as you're explaining, the seasons are changing from one season to the next. This happens in nature. You can also see that that is reflected in your own body as well. And they use the symbol of the yin yang to help to understand this philosophy. There's like 4 main principles to the yin yang theory, and if you kind of understand that process, you then are able to live according to that, and it will help you to balance your life. So, for example, if the seasons are changing, they're changing from yin into yang. So with this symbol, you have it's a classic symbol. I don't really know, like Janine explained.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure everyone of you've seen the symbol. It's obviously a circle divided into a black and a white half, curvy bit, and within the white you have a little black dot, and within the black you have a little white dot, and that obviously incorporates or shows as a symbol, portrays the opposition but also the dependence of each other. So if you have certain propositions that you call yin and certain propositions that you call yang, as in male, female, dark, light,
there's
summer, winter.
Lots of different representations of it in the universe. Day into night, light into dark, and male to female. And a lot of people, they misunderstand what the yin yang means. They just think, oh, one is black and one is white, and it just represents those two black and white images. But actually, what's really interesting about the yin yang symbol is it means that one is constantly flowing into the other. Actually, it's not ever yin or yang, but they kind of mutually support one another, and they're constantly changing. They're never static. When you see it in a picture, it's just like there, and you look at it and you think, oh yeah, black and white. But actually, in reality, things are always constantly moving from yin into yang, and they're always changing. And what's interesting when I work in the clinic sometimes is you can see when people are sick, their yin and yang are changing. Like, for example, the patient will suddenly be really, really hot, and then suddenly they'll go really cold. And that seems to happen at a certain point, like when it goes ultimate, like really, really hot, they can't get any more hot, and then suddenly they go cold, very, very cold. And this is kind of like the way this yin-yang works. It only happens, the change between yin and yang only happens when the time is right. And you can see that in nature, like you were saying. So when spring turns to summer, it happens at the right point. It only happens at a specific time, And if you understand that, and you can work in relation to that, and you're in harmony with that, then you're going to be able to balance yourself. And
you want to use this information for your own body and your own lifestyle as well, because you have some say day and night, or you have like active resting. You be active during the day and you rest during the night, or whenever it suits you. I mean, some people are active during the night and rest during the day, but you can't have one without the other. So you can't be 24 hours active. You have to have some rest to be active again. So it's not you have to change this around. So your body needs to recharge so you can be active again. And that's the same thing with your breathing as well. You obviously need to, you can't just breathe in, you also need to breathe out. So it kind of needs to kind of flow and balance each other out.
I think what's interesting as well is everybody, when you're looking at a person, everybody has a different balance of yin and yang in the body. So, and everybody's different, and those balances are different. So when I'm working in the clinic, when someone comes in, one of the ways that I figure out how to balance their body is how much yin, how much yang do they have, which one is out of proportion. How can we balance those? How can we get that homeostasis back in the body? Obviously, you're never ever going to be completely balanced. You're never going to be like this. This is not how things happen in nature. It's not how it happens in the universe. You know, constantly things are changing all of the time. But you want to create the distance between yin and yang. You don't want them to be so far apart that is causing imbalance in your body. You want to try and bring the yin and the yang as close as you can into homeostasis, into this balanced state, and then you're able to have a much more comfortable life and a much more healthy and productive life. If the balance is way out, this is where problems can occur.
So for example, if you take like your social life, so you could be a person that's just always around people, constantly around people, which is a good thing. But you might find yourself kind of that you get really tired being around a lot of people and being busy all the time and being on the go all the time. Might sometimes wear you out of it, or you find that you get tired very easily. So you need to kind of discover this and see like, okay, when is the time that I need to slow down a bit or step back and maybe spend some time with myself and recharge, so then I can go out again and be with people. The same way, the other way around. If you're someone that has not many friends or has not many interactions and you just keep to yourself, which is good one way, but you also can go really, really extreme, because sometimes you do need a social interactions and support from your friends or family, or sometimes you just need to go out there and see someone and talk to someone, and can't just always be in your little isolation, because that's no good for you, because then you're just in your head. Sometimes you also need to have the interaction. So one extreme or the other is no good. You have to kind of bring it somewhere together in the middle.
And I think it's just a case of listening to your body and listening to the signs. So if we're looking at food, for example, and how you should be eating according to your body type or the balance of the yin and yang in your body, it's just simple things that you can think about. So for example, if you are a very hot person, you can imagine if you're going to put very hot food into your body, it's going to generate more heat. So the understanding is if you want to balance that, you want to balance it with more cooling energy, like leafy green vegetables and things like that. So, and it's the same what Janine is saying as well. If you're very, very active and you're all the time constantly active and you're not resting, eventually the yin yang is going to change and you're going to be forced to rest. Your body will just collapse and make you rest, rather than getting to that point of complete exhaustion, or getting to the point where the yin and yang is completely forcing you to make that change, because it has to change, can't constantly stay that way. You can understand how that works and make the changes that you can make for yourself, and help you to balance your life, whether it be through your lifestyle, through your activity, through your nutrition, through your mindfulness. Every part of this understanding applies to and everything in your life. So it's kind of the symbol works as like a macrocosm, so you can see it in the heavens, you can see it in nature, and you can see it in yourself. I think sometimes in life we have become disconnected from that, in that we don't really see ourselves as a part of nature. It's something that's separate and over there and happens. Spring and summer and winter, and that happens over there, and I'm in my, living my life and eating and looking after my family and working, and we kind of see that as something separate. But if we can understand that actually that is a part of us, and we can work in relation with it, it's going to help us to elongate our life, improve our health, our longevity, and knowledge is power at the end of the day. If you have knowledge and understanding, then you can help yourself and you can help other people too. Yeah. So, if you've got anything you would like to add to that, anything that you would like to say, is there any comments coming in, Jack?
Just people saying hello at the minute and...
All right. Okay.
Oh, maybe we can talk about like the breathing, because we talked about air and breathing, and there's obviously when you do martial arts, you have exercises, but obviously, especially for kind of the right breathing techniques, there are these, like, you can do yoga, or you can do Tai Chi, or you can do Qigong. So, and obviously we also have some videos for Qigong on our YouTube channels and social media, but also kind of to get the right airflow into your body. Sometimes that can really help you. I mean, I've read something over and over again, it comes up in many places, that you do like this belly breathing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So basically you kind of, you sit yourself upright so you're in the right position, and then you basically breathe into your nose and kind of try to fill, like, not just your lungs, you just try to fill your whole body, and it kind of your diaphragm, and then you breathe out to your mouth. And sometimes that's what you can do. This is really simple exercise you can do on a daily basis, and it also brings you back to focus sometimes. So let's say either you're really busy and you feel that it has an effect on your body because you're snapping at people, or I don't know, you get out of control. Just can step back and do this exercise and kind of bring yourself back a bit to balance it out. Or the other way around as well, if you feel really tired and not motivated at all, you can do the same exercise and kind of get some energy in you to then go like, look, now I'm going to do this or that.
If you look at, just came to my mind, if you look at this, there's an ancient symbol for chi and for energy. And when you look at it, it's actually a grain of rice. The symbol is a grain of rice, and it's steam coming off, like air coming off. And sometimes it can be chi can be translated as air or as breath. So it's quite interesting that when you eat food, when you eat rice and you eat really good food, and you're breathing, it creates energy, it creates this chi. So this kind of symbol represents that, kind of like the philosophy is within the language, within the Chinese language as well, which is really beautiful. But like Janine was saying, the more capacity that you have to breathe, and breathe in that oxygen, breathe in that heavenly chi through your body, the more potential that you have to strengthen your defensive chi, you have to strengthen your energy. And then the stronger you are, the less you're going to be vulnerable to
other things.
Things like pathogens and viruses and
and this also is like, the stronger you are within yourself, the more you can obviously also give out to others, isn't it? It's like you can help others, or be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Just kind of basically also enjoy life,
Your emotions are very important, aren't they? Your emotions are very important. Making sure your emotions are kind of an expression of chi as well. So making sure that your emotions are free flowing, that they're not stagnant, they're not unbalanced, not too yin, not too yang, and that they're flowing freely is an important part of it as well. It's something that you can't separate from yourself. You have to acknowledge that that's a part of you as well, and that when you're practicing these exercises or you're practicing healthy lifestyle, healthy eating, that's going to affect all of your whole self, your mental, your physical, your emotions. They're all connected together, they all work together. Like in the Yin Yang theory, everything's connected, everything moves, and one thing affects the other thing, and constantly changing and in relation to one another. So this theory is really great for you to understand and kind of work with.
I think there's also a lot. I mean, you can talk about this for hours.
How much longer we've got to talk?
No, I think we don't have that much longer. But I think there's because you can apply this on anything, on anything. You can just go like, on anything in your life. If you're serious, you can be serious, but you want to joke around. It's like, but you just don't want to do one or the others too much. So you combine it both. So whatever you do, you can apply this, and we can sit here all day.
I think the main thing is that you want to generate healthy qi.
Yeah.
You want to generate upright qi is like makes you sit upright and has a strong constitution, a strong. Some of you out there maybe have not been born with a very strong constitution. You might not be given a lot of qi, born with a lot of qi. But the way you use it now and the way you harness it now can affect your whole life. So you want to build your energy. You want to keep your energy clear. You want to keep your energy unpolluted, flowing, not stagnant. So you can use lots of tools to help you to do that.
There's also start small. Don't no one is a master in a day. So you start with really small steps and then you build up.
Yeah, hopefully it's giving you some inspiration. Maybe you want to go and do some more research and learn about it.
Yeah.
That's how I started learning. I was got quite poorly. I was like, I really want to understand why this is happening and how I can balance my life out. And obviously martial arts really helped that, and that was the physical side, and then the meditation and the qigong and then eating and everything like that kind of all helps you to kind of want to learn more about it. And I hope today has helped to inspire you guys out there to want to learn more about this way of living and different lifestyle, and hopefully it will help you and then you can help other people.
And I think it's also, if you have any other more questions, you can always drop us an email, you can drop us a comment, a text. We're out there. And we like to help. So if you have some specific questions, or if you want to support us, just reach out and we're here.
We've got a great website which you can go on called www.shaolintemple.com. So you can go on there, you can find out loads of information. And if you want to support us further, if you want to donate and support our cause, this great charity we're trying to run here, so you can go online and support us. That would be fantastic. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye.